Hey, what's up everybody? Video 44 coming at you another video. Alright, so we're talking Darius Garland. It looks like there's a chance that he could be on the move and he's linked to the Lakers at this point. I don't actually know if the Lakers would actually pull the trigger on a Darius Garland trade. However, I'm kind of conflicted because I was listening to Trevor Lane talk about the conversation and what the package would be. And my thing is, if I can pull off a Darius Garland trade without putting any first-round picks in it, it might be in my best interest to do that. He's got $34 million for the next 5 years. He's 24 years old. It'll take you through his age 29 season. Problem is, he's only 6'1", man. He's not even 200 pounds. So this is a small guard you're talking about bringing to your situation. We already have issues with that, to say the least, with guys that can't necessarily defend. Now, Darius Garland may be able to defend better than D'Angelo Russell, but you're losing height, losing size. You're getting younger. You're definitely bringing on a proven all-star, but can he stay healthy? That's my question. How many games do I expect Darius Garland to play? And the thing is, his price tag, in my opinion, in terms of what you're sending out, is going to probably cost less than bringing back a Trae Young or a Donovan Mitchell. And in this event, Donovan Mitchell would be staying with the Cleveland Cavaliers because there's no reason to trade Darius Garland to the Lakers if Donovan Mitchell's leaving. So this is one of those situations where this is a consolation prize to keep you from having to take on any trade that involves you sending out picks. In theory, because the Darius Garland trade could in fact involve picks. Now, if it involves picks, I'm out. But if I can do it by sending out a couple players, I'll do it. Jalen Hood-Schifino, Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves. Now, y'all know I'm not a big fan of sending Austin Reeves anywhere. I'm not just sending out Austin just to be sending him out. It would have to be me getting back a perennial all-star at the age of 23, 24 years old. That would make me even consider that type of move. And, as a big fan of Austin, I would be trying to keep him out of that deal. I would try to keep him out of that deal. I think his contract is too good to just throw into a situation where you're bringing back a small guard that may only play 25 games in a bad season. However, Darius Garland on a 5-year deal at $34 million, if he doesn't take on any injuries, he's only going to get better from here. Already proven all-star, still young. If you have to rebuild, you love having Darius Garland in there that can go for 40, 50 points, 15 assists. He's an excellent point guard. Younger than your Trae Young, younger than Donovan Mitchell, you know what I mean? And my golden rule in regards to making a trade like this is, can I trade him for more later on? And the answer is yes. With him having less years on his deal and him only going to be, 26 years old in 2 years with 3 years left on his contract and probably a better player than he is right now, that means I could probably trade him for more when his cachet goes up, having played for the Lakers, played with LeBron James, excellent catch and shoot player, excellent assist player, very cerebral. He can be De'Aaron Fox in a couple years, you know what I mean? That's not the same player, but the same cachet, you feel me? So you could probably get back 2 or 3 4 first-round picks for him if you play his value up. So I'm a big Darius Garland fan. I would have drafted him. If y'all know me, you already know I would have drafted him with the 4th overall pick. That year we traded everything for Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis probably would not have been a Laker that year. I would have waited till he was a free agent the following year. And Darius Garland would have been his point guard with LeBron James. Darius Garland on a rookie contract. We would have won championship after that and after that and after that. All these teams that just won the championship, Milwaukee and all, we would have beat all of them because I'd had Darius Garland on a rookie contract. But we did win in 2020. That was a hell of a championship to win. We're happy we won it. I just think that we probably mortgaged maybe 2 or 3 championships. And then we tried to do the, what's his name? Russell Westbrook trade. That would have never been necessary because we had Darius Garland handling the future of the point guard position. So a lot of stuff just would not have happened if we just would have did what I told y'all to do. Probably wouldn't have had the 2020 championship, but you probably would have won it in 2021 and 2022. So it's like, now that Darius Garland's been paid, he got 5 years on his deal. Is he worth that contract? If I'm being honest, yeah, I guess so, because of what he's already proven. But for the fact that I don't expect him to play a lot of games, a lot of years, I worry that he's going to tumble forward to be more of an injury-prone player than his reputation would provide, as to which his value would go down when he comes in uniform. But at the end of the day, at the end of this contract, he's going to be 29. He ain't gonna even be 30 yet, and that is really, really appealing to me. If I'm gonna take on a guy with a 5-year contract, I want him to be entering his prime when that contract is up. So I like him for that. I think the years on the contract are fine. The price on the contract, $34 million, you have to have him playing at an all-star level every year to make that make sense. And when you're going to be sending out Rui Hachimura, you're sending out Austin Reeves, those are very good contracts. You see what I'm saying? You're sending out good contracts to bring in a average contract. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I don't want to throw in any picks. Because if you have to get rid of Darius Garland, he's a clutch client. I'm not giving you no picks. Now, I will throw in Jalen Hood-Schifino, which can be considered a pick since he ain't played no ball for us. Coming off a back injury, he's a point guard. You're probably going to need a point guard. I will be happy to throw in the upside of a Jalen Hood-Schifino, who was a 17th overall pick last year, and maybe they can turn him into like Darius Garland. You never know. Good things can happen. When you take on young players before they develop in the situation that the Cleveland Cavaliers are in, you got a rookie contract on a nice player there. So I'll throw him in. As far as me throwing in any of the 3 picks that we have to trade, that's when I'm walking away from the table. You take Austin, you take Jalen, you take Rui, and maybe I'll throw in something else, another player, Jackson Hayes or something like that, even though I'm up with keeping Jackson Hayes. Probably throw him in just to make it a little sweeter for the Cavaliers. But that's about as much as I'm willing to do for Darius Garland's 5-year contract at $34 million apiece. And I think I'd get outbid, to be honest with you. I think other teams like Orlando potentially, San Antonio potentially, even the Hawks could potentially outbid us, depending on if they want to swap Darius Garland for Trae Young or DeJounte Murray, which might be a good idea for one of those teams. But I don't know if they'd be thinking like that or not. The point is, if Darius Garland's on the move, there's a limit to what I'd do to trade for him. And if I can keep Austin out of that deal, I might be willing to, but not. See, my thing is Austin worth a first-round pick in this market? Probably. So if I'm throwing in Austin, I'm keeping the pick out. If I got to throw in a first-round pick, Austin is not in this trade. But see, my question is can I go forward with Austin Reeves and Darius Garland as my permanent backup, my permanent backcourt? And the answer is I'd rather not. For Austin's lack of athleticism and Darius' lack of height and athleticism, I don't think I need that as my backcourt. No, I'm going to move on from one of them. So I'm either not bringing in Darius Garland or I'm asking Austin to play my 6th man of the year role for the next several years. For which his contract isn't that bad if you're asking him to do that. But he'd probably be better in a starting situation next to a Bruce Brown or a defensive point guard or something like that. You see what I'm saying? So you'd rather have Donovan Mitchell next to Austin Reeves in theory, although Donovan Mitchell's only 6'3". He's a bigger guy. In theory, he could probably play better defense, even though that's not his forte. I don't know if I actually want them together either now I think about it. But the point is, give me a defensive 2 guard if I'm going to have Austin as my 1, or a defensive leading guard if I'm going to have Austin as my 2. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't necessarily love Austin's piece next to Darius Garland if they're going to be both playing prominent roles at like 40 minutes a game. I'm going up against the Knicks. I'm probably going to get out-dueled by Josh Hart and DiVincenzo and Brunson any damn way. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you go up against hard-working, fast-paced, 50-50 ball chasing, guards, and you're going to get your butt whooped. So I'm not dreaming that up if I know if this is what the field look like. I'm going up against Anthony Edwards. Who's guarding Anthony Edwards in that situation? Darius Garland is 6'1", 190 pounds. Man, you're going to get pushed around. So if you're gonna be in the Western Conference where a lot of stuff is solidified, you got to deal with the Houston Rockets big guards. Obviously, they got Fred VanVleet, but they're coming in with Amen Thompson and Green. Potentially, whoever they draft in this draft could be another guard in that rotation. You're going to need bigger guards. So whatever you're putting together had better be able to guard Houston, had better be able to guard Sacramento. You know what I'm saying? Bringing in nice names is not going to get you very far in this situation. If those names don't have the bodies and the ability to back up what it is that you need, then you're signing up to be exiting in the 1st or 2nd round any damn way. And I'm not making any moves to get ousted in the 1st or 2nd round. I can do that with what I have. See what I'm saying? If it's not making us better, it don't make any sense. So that's my attitude right now. I just think the Los Angeles Lakers, I'd love to bring in Darius Garland. I would be open to not trading away any first round picks, but tossing in players to make that make sense and salary to make that make sense. But that's about it, man. That's about it. That's about it. I'm not going to destroy the elements of a good team to put together a superstar so that the team that he's on can be incomplete, if that makes any sense. I'm trading away size, I'm trading away guards, I'm trading away picks that can draft centers so that I can bring in another name. You're not going to be very good doing that. You're going to be very exciting because people are going to love seeing superstars on the floor, but your team is incomplete. You don't have your Jaden McDaniel or your pieces that you need. You're not going to have the size to really match up with the big three centers that the Timberwolves have or that the Dallas Mavericks have. If you don't have those pieces, it don't matter what you got. It ain't enough. You know what I'm saying? You need 3 7-footers that are in prime rotation. You need that. Why? Because you're going up against Naz Reid, Rudy Gobert, and Karl Towns. You're going up against Sengun. If the Rockets draft a center, whoever the hell that would be, could be Klingon, and Jabari Smith. Like, you're going to need the centers. Obviously, Porter, Jokic, and now, of course, Gordon. So it's like these are centers that are guys that are tall as centers in these key places that you're going to need centers in order to guard them, basically. So Garland ain't going to save you there. He ain't going to save you there. You know you're running into these players. You know you're going to run into Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, and PJ Washington. You see what I'm saying? You know what you're running into. So if you don't have that, you don't got enough. So if what we're doing is not going to allow us to have those centers, that's why I don't want us to trade away the 17th overall pick. I did homework on all kinds of dudes yesterday. Filipowski, a couple of them other dudes too. Just all the centers in that range. We should be using our 17th overall pick, if we're lucky enough to keep it, on somebody like that. A 7-footer who could do some things, play some defense. I don't think I can remember any of these people's names, but I did homework on like 7 people who were taller than 6'8". I mean, taller than 6'10", right? Because I'm targeting a center with my 17th overall pick. That's what I'm doing if I'm the Lakers. So it's like, that's it. That's important. And then I need a guard who's fast enough to guard De'Aaron Fox, fast enough to keep up with Murray and answer Murray, fast enough to keep up with Kyrie and answer Kyrie. You understand what I'm saying? If I don't have those elements, I don't give a damn what type of names you're bringing in. You ain't winning them. You ain't gonna win. So that's what I'm here to tell everybody, man. These are the type of things I want my Los Angeles Lakers to be focused on. Not necessarily getting the greatest of stars, but make sure you have the elements that can match up with the field, that is going to continue to try to match up with the field. You're going to be the only team that don't have 3 centers, and you're going to be getting out rebounded left and right. A lot of these dudes in this range, of our 17, these centers that I've been looking at, they're fantastic at offensive rebounding. That is a key thing. With more and more possessions that are taking place, the more you're going to likely need extra possessions to keep up. So offensive rebounding is a very, very important aspect of what it is that I think we should be trying to get for ourselves. And a lot of them dudes in that range, that was really what they were good at. So you got some 7'1" dudes, you got a 7'4" dude. There's no reason for you to be short next year, Lakers. Not if you keep that 17th overall pick. There's no reason for you to be short. You can get some dudes. Maybe, and look, I don't think it's likely at all. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think it's likely at all. But I'm going to say this. Donovan Clingan, who's supposed to be anywhere between the 3 and 10th pick, I don't see that. I think there's a chance, and in a world, he could fall to 17. And if he does, he's a steal at that point. I'm just being honest with you. He's not that much more impressive to me, personally, than Zach Edey. He's not. In fact, Zach Edey's more likely to get buckets. He's more likely to get defense, but Zach is a bigger dude, likely going to rebound better. So I'm just going to put it out there. I don't see it with Donovan Clingan. I don't see it. I like the idea that he could pass the rock a little bit, right? So that gives him a different element. Maybe like Omer Asik. If anybody remembers Omer Asik, he reminds me of Omer Asik. Or Big Country Reeves, minus the offense. Like Donovan Clingan, you're hoping he will come in and be like Rudy Gobert. But one of the things that make Rudy Gobert so special on the defensive end is he's in fantastic shape at all times. Rudy Gobert is ripped up. He's always in shape. He's a big dude, but he's always taking very good care of himself. Donovan Clingan is clunky. Donovan Clingan looked like if he runs too many steps, he's gonna fall over his own feet. Like I don't see it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't see it with Donovan Clingan. I get it. He played well in the college and did a lot of things defensively that excited a lot of people. But I'm telling y'all, I did some homework on this kid yesterday. I don't see it. He and Zach Edey are like neck and neck for me. I wouldn't take Clingan before 17, to be honest with you, 16. And most people have him in the 3 or 4 range. I just don't see it. I really don't see it. So I'm telling y'all, if he's available at 17, then for sure we take him. And he would be excellent for what we doing. Putting him next to Anthony Davis, we would be blocking shots from here to Texas. But I'm telling y'all, I don't think he's a very coordinated center. I don't think he's all that coordinated at all. I think Zach Edey's probably more likely to beat him in a foot race. At 7'4", 300 pounds. You see what I'm saying? It's more coordinated. And so for me, if people start thinking like I'm thinking in regards to Clingan, he's gonna slip. He's gonna slip. And so I just wanted to put that out there because everybody's saying, yo, he's going to San Antonio, he's going to Houston. He shouldn't. Not if people paying attention to what I'm paying attention to. That's a bust. I'm just being honest. At that range, that's a bust. He ain't gonna provide you half of what some of the dudes behind him are gonna provide. Not even half. Now I could be wrong. I've been wrong about players before. But with this particular player, I'm telling you that I don't see it. So if he or Edey or Filipowski, I like his energy, but I don't think he can block enough shots. I'm afraid that he profiles as somebody who's probably going to bust out too, because at the end of the day, he's a shooter that can't shoot. An energy defensive guy that can't block shots. I'm not excited. I don't see him being anybody that you're going to actually have in rotation anytime soon. So while we may be looking at a guy like Filipowski, I personally was not impressed with what I saw. I personally was not. So that's the problem with this draft, you guys. When people are telling you it's not that good of a draft, most of these players that I'm seeing profile are role players. They're probably not going to help you right away. Some of the dudes in the lottery are going to the G League right away. And, you know, you got to really find the gem. The profile of shooters that didn't shoot well last year, big men that don't stretch the floor. You know, it's like you got a guy who can draw a foul here and there, but isn't good shooting at the free throw line. Clingan, 50% free throw shooter. Like, are you gonna take him with the 3rd overall pick? Nah, bro. Not at all, bro. I am out on Clingan, and I don't care how many people say he's the man. After doing about an hour of homework on him last night, I am not impressed with Donovan Clingan at all. I think he can be a good player in the middle of the first round. I'm not crazy. He's a hell of a defensive presence who's going to affect a lot of things with his huge length and his intelligence because he's very smart, which is going to work in his favor, making plays for other people. His ceiling for me is a non-shooting Brad Miller. And anybody remember Brad Miller? Brad Miller was an all-star. So I'm not saying that he can't play. A non-shooting Brad Miller. But that's what it is. You're talking about a guy who's going to be played off the floor in a lot of situations. So, I don't know, man. I just want to put that out there. I know that's not this kind of video, and I certainly want to do a video for all these dudes I did homework on. But the main thing that stood out for me is just how I have trouble believing in that player. That's what I took away from all of my homework yesterday. 3 hours of doing homework on centers, and I don't see it with Clingan. That was the standout thought. The hell is like, I am not overly impressed with Zach Edey either, because I think a lot of what he benefited from was usage. And when you talk about the usage that he's going to get from in the league, it's just you just got to temper those expectations based on the style of play. But he's going to get buckets. Edey is going to do hook shots and layups, and he's rarely going to miss. You're going to throw the ball to him, he's going to get fouled a lot, and he hits his free throws. He has excellent shooting form. 71% free throw shooter. Only attempted like 2 threes, but hit one of them. Like, he can do more than people are giving him credit for. And he's like a good, clean Zubac. You know what I'm saying? But Clingan, he don't have no offensive talent. Like, his offensive talent is limited to his ability to get assists off, which I think could really, really be a nice connective piece, especially if you're talking about a center. But a free throw shooter, he's terrible. 3-point shooter, he's non-existent. He can run the floor pretty well for 7'1", but not like, he's not no damn Kevin Garnett or nothing like that. So, I don't know, man. I just wanted to put a little bit of that in here. I've run out of time to speak anyway, but that's what I have to say, man. Just want the Lakers to use that pick on the center and do their homework, do their due diligence to find a guy that they like and draft him. Don't trade that pick. I don't think the Pelicans will take it from us this year. I doubt that. So that's pretty much what I got to say. BDO 44, I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.